Got a call from cousin Elihu this morning. He told me that he stopped by Aunt Bertha's yesterday and he saw that stick that I gave Aunt Bertha, and he said he would like to have one of them. He was telling me that he has a Samsung TV and he don't think it supports the Dolby Vision, but instead supports HDR10 Plus. And he asked me if I could do some tests for him, so it'll show me exactly what that stick does. So that's what I'm going to do right now. To see if this device will play on his Samsung TV, we are going to test Back to the Future, that's 67.7 gigabyte, and that is Dolby Vision Profile 7 with full enhancement layer. That's as tough as you can get for these media players to play. So we're going to find out if it plays on this device. Now keep in mind, this device does not support Dolby Vision, nor does his TV support Dolby Vision. The first thing we need to test is the Wi-Fi capability. This is the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi band. This is the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi band. Let's see what ADA64 says. Device TV, manufacturer, Skyworth Digital. MECOOL is the brand. It uses the RTD1325 system on a chip. And I'll scroll on down. Okay, that's that one. This is the information on the CPU. Here's information on the codecs that it says it supports, but in reality, most of these are not supported. But we'll just take a brief preview of what they show. Again, some of these do not work, like the WVC1 or the VC1. Those do not play. Those are not hardware decoded on this device, even though it says they are. And none of the Amlogics support that either. What about DRM info? Let's take a look and see what that shows. Brand MECOOL. Hardware, again, it's RTD1325. We're looking for the Widevine level. Right here, it should be level 1, security level 1. There it is, security level 1. Okay, that's the information on the DRM. Now that we've got rid of all the boring stuff, let's get some more information about this device. This device supports Netflix and Prime Video in 4K, and it is Google certified. This device supports Chromecast and Google Assistant. Open Google Play Store. And you have thousands of apps that you can install on this device. Okay, now we're going to take a look at some of our other applications and see what it's capable of. Okay, let's take a look at Netflix and see what it shows. Okay, if you notice, it says it's 4K HDR. Now, if this stick was a Dolby Vision, it would show Dolby Vision, but this stick does not support Dolby Vision. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what it plays at. Okay, if you notice, it's HDR10 and 24 frames per second. So again, at HDR10 and 24 frames per second. Next, we're going to take a look at the Apple TV app. Now, if you noticed, Apple TV does play in HDR10 plus, but it only plays in 60 frames per second. It does not have 24 frames per second. But again, it does support HDR10 plus. So this stick and this TV both supports HDR10 plus. Okay, as I was saying, the Back to the Future, my copy is in Dolby Vision Profile 7 with fail. Anyway, it has a backup of HDR10 plus. So that's what you see right there. So you got HDR10 plus at 24 frames per second. So that's Back to the Future. And again, that is encoded in Dolby Vision, but since this device does not support Dolby Vision, it converts it to the fallback, which is, in this case, is HDR10 plus. So that's what I want to show you right there. So this is a very high bit rate video, and that was playing under Kodi. Now here is Back to the Future playing under Plex. And if you notice, it's HDR10 plus and 24 frames per second. HDR10 plus, 24 frames per second. I do not subscribe to Prime Video, so I cannot test that. Let's take a look and see what I've got some of the settings set on. Okay, I got the display mode to automatic. Okay, the HDR output mode input. Dolby Vision, it does not support Dolby Vision. HDR policy, I've got adaptive HDR. So that means if it's HDR10, it tunes to HDR10. If it's HDR10 plus, then it shows HDR10 plus. So that's what that means right there. And you got that setting there. And you got your CEC, text scaling, match frame rate. Now that's what gives you the 24 frames per second or 60 frames per second. Depends on the video. And there's some, okay. Show formats. Now it supports HDR10, HDR10 plus, HLG, and this Dolby Vision is disabled because this device does not support that. So that's everything that this device supports. And we have the AISR enabled. So that's it. So who is this device for? It's for a lot of people that have TVs that do not have the Android TV OS, and they do not support some of these apps that I have on here. So that's the key feature there. Also, it's basically plug and play, but it's only used for a TV using the TV speakers. It does not support the high definition audio codec, so it's not a great device for home theaters, but for a basic television, it works great. So anyway, thank you for watching.